Hi everyone, welcome back to Unstoppable Women. Today we have Aditi Handa with us.
Thank you so much for
Welcome to
having
the
me
show,
here.
Aditi.
Thank you.
Aditi is a well-acclaimed chef turned entrepreneur,
Yes.
hugely successful, hugely visible out there. But today, Aditi, we want to dig in a little deeper.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's
Let's do
dive
it.
in.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So let's start with your childhood.
What about my childhood? Because बहुत लंबा है.
आपको whatever you remember, whatever you want to share with us.
Okay, so my childhood, I grew up in a city called Ahmedabad. I grew up in a family full of entrepreneurs. I didn't know what I was going to do when I grew up, but there was a time, I think this was in class 8, in the afternoon when everybody's sleeping, I used to just walk around in the living room of my house preparing these speeches which I was going to give when I would win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Okay.
Not that I'm doing anything in that direction, but I think I used to just enjoy thinking कि ये ना लाइफ में बड़े होके कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग करना है, कुछ बड़ा करना है, कुछ something that contributes to society. I always felt that
old
part
were you
was
then?
always. This was, I think, class 8 is what, you're 13? Something like 12,
Okay.
13, 14, something of that age group.
Okay.
A lot of people ask me, did I like cooking or baking when I was a kid? I used to, but I don't think there was a very clear passion जो कहेगा कि हाँ ये लड़की बड़े होके तो कुछ खाना ही बनाएगी या बेकरी चलाएगी, वैसा नहीं था. But I used to enjoy playing with dough. My mom always tells me कि every time I would get really angry, I would go to the storeroom where we had a little घंटी जिसमें से वो fresh flour निकलता था, and मैं एक परात में वो और पानी देकर गूंथते रहती थी.
Okay.
And that was my stress buster.
Got it. So just feeling the dough on your hands and
Something, I don't know. I think I've always, much later in my life, I realized that I was a mover child, not a listener child, which basically means I don't think I liked sitting on the study table with books and reading as much I liked doing physical things, which is why I also feel today when I bake a loaf of bread, it's far more interesting than making Excel sheets.
So more creativity.
So I think that was always there. I also grew up in a family with all boys around. So I don't really have any sisters. I have lots of brothers.
Okay.
And we grew up in a joint family. So I also
Younger
obviously had
sister?
cousins.
You're the younger sister?
Okay, so amongst brothers, sisters, I'm in the middle.
Okay.
But I have a younger brother.
Okay.
So, because joint family में सब ऊपर नीचे हो जाता है ना. But I grew up in a house of brothers, and where I felt that when I was being raised, nobody differentiated कि ये लड़की है. So I never got that extra lard the girl gets. I never got the limitation a girl gets.
Got it.
So when if there was a party we were all going to, I was allowed to stay back as long as the boys were. If there was a challenge which we had to do, whether it was studies or work, I had to work as much as the boys. So we were raised in the sense
No
कि
distinction. मतलब
तुम same ही
सब
होते
same
हो.
हो.
And I
Uniform.
do understand that there's a huge gender bias that exists today. But in our heads, we were not raised like that. We were just told
And
that
that was
either you're
worked
good
to
or
your
you're not.
advantage then, right?
I think so. And I feel that thought process, again, I realized this much later in life. I feel as an individual, if you have that thought process ना, ये जो society में gender bias exist करता है, you are better prepared to tackle it.
But hats off to your family as well, right? Because still,
I think उनका एक ही एजेंडा था. We always joke that the Handas are like this. उनको काम के सिवाय कुछ मन में नहीं आता. So everybody's like work, excel. So how does it, girl, you must also excel. Boy, you must also excel. Everybody must excel.
Okay. That is integral.
That was, I think, the core thing.
Got it. All women in the house were also working?
No, not really. My mother was not. And now I realize that's the best thing she's ever done for me by not working, because I think we had a very secure childhood growing up. I don't think I realized this honestly until the day I delivered my boys. But the fact that I had my mom home to look after me, and again, like I said, we were in a joint family, so we were 4 kids. So my chachi was working, my mother was a stay-at-home mom, but she raised 4 of us.
Wow.
And I think as a family, that worked really well. I saw a working woman, my chachi, whom I look up to a lot.
Yeah.
And then I saw my mom who said, okay, I'm not going to work, but I'm going to look after all of you. And I don't think there's a single day that goes when, हम चारों में से ना, we're all very grateful to her.
Yeah. And much more secure individuals.
Yes, because she looked after us. She really loved us so unconditionally. And she's always like, she's never been like, oh, if you're successful, I love you more, and if you're not, I love you less. So we've really gotten a lot of
Unconditional love.
unconditional, unadulterated love from her. No matter whether you were a naughty girl that day or not,
Got it.
she's always showered
Got
that. And I think that's a really important job for a parent to do. I think at that point it was an important job for the mother to do. I think in today's world, one of the parents needs to be as unconditional.
To be
if not
around
both.
for the kids.
I
You think that's
important.
getting compromised these days? More women
हाँ,
are out.
हम सब करते हैं. Like I said, we grew up in a joint family now, so there are lots of advantages. Like when my chachi was working, because my mom was there, she could look after her kids. When my chachi was working, I had a woman figure to look up to, that you can be a working mother also. And a lot of responsibility gets distributed.
Right.
Now, because we go more nuclear, it's very unfair to expect parents now, a couple, to be a working couple, to earn enough to survive in the expensive world that it is today,
And to take care of kids.
to look after
provide.
the kids, to also at times look after the parents, because after a
Yes.
point they get unhealthy.
Yes.
So I think the amount of burden that comes on two people's shoulder is a lot, which is why I think I'm a bit of a believer in this traditional joint family system.
Yeah, you still living in a joint family?
We live with our parents,
Oh,
yes.
lovely.
And I always tell people there are lots of reasons that I'm a working mom. The biggest reason is because my mom is there to look after my kids. Today I'm here talking to you,
Yeah.
not worried what's happening to my kids, because mama is there.
Got it.
And I feel that's the biggest support a woman needs.
Yeah.
Either your mama or your mother-in-law or someone in the family who's like now at this stage where they do not want to follow their career anymore. They've
They say
retired.
it takes a village to raise a child,
It does,
right?
exactly.
So literally it does. That's true.
And
It's not only
grandparents
about a mother.
do a fabulous job
Absolutely.
of passing those values to kids.
Yes. So your mom has played an integral role, whether for you or for your kids.
Huge.
And you took to psychology, right? Later.
Yes.
In college.
So, since we're talking about a family background, a lot of my value system I also feel comes from my mom's side of the family.
Okay.
My mom's side and her parents, her great grandparents, her grandparents, they were all freedom fighters. So I think कहीं से वो थोड़ा कीड़ा था कि यार कुछ भी करो ना, अच्छा quality करो, give back to society, whether the society is your city, your nation, the world, doesn't
Be
matter.
aware of community around you.
But I think between saying with my dad's side of the family saying being successful, and when my mom's side of the family was like success is important, but also contributing
to
the
giving back to the society.
Exactly.
So
So I think that value
balance.
system I can now see when we make decisions at work, where it comes from.
Got it. Tell me about your days in psychology.
So my main reason to take up psychology was because I think I was quite clear that at some point I want to either be someone important in the business or do my own business.
Okay. But why psychology then?
Because I think psychology helps you understand human behavior in a way where you can, now it's up to you where you apply it. बहुत सारे लोग business में जाते हैं by doing a business degree, by doing an MBA, and I felt the thing that will give me an edge is the fact that I will come from the human behavior side, because honestly when we are doing a business, when we are making a product, when we are building a team, when we're talking to consumers, all of this is
all
human
about
behavior.
human behavior, soft skills,
Everything.
yeah.
If I have to make a bread today, I have to understand what does the consumer want. At times the consumer says we want this, but even they are unable to articulate it. So you have to understand what would the meaning behind that be.
Yeah.
So I've always found psychology a very interesting field. I went to England to study psychology, where psychology is treated as a science,
Got it.
which means we studied a lot of brain, we studied a lot of biology.
You did neurosciences?
Yes, even neurosciences. We did a lot of cognitive psychology,
Okay.
because it helps you understand behavior that works from a very scientific way.
Understood.
And I think that entire approach during my undergrad degree was so systematic and so problem solving that a lot of the skills is what I use in business
But you
today.
didn't want to pursue anything in psychology per se, like
No, I think it was
counseling or
no. It was very clear from day
sciences.
one that I want to study psychology to get that skill
for it to
set.
help you to in
Exactly. I think
business
that
or
was always
something.
very clear.
Okay.
Having said that, I found counseling psychology, motivational psychology very interesting subjects towards my final year.
Okay.
But it was all again from the point के business में हम क्या apply कर पाएंगे.
Why baking?
Why baking?
What was that aha moment in your life which decided that yes, I'm going to become a baker?
So there is a very popular restaurant in Bombay called Khyber, and this is in Colaba. We were there having lunch with someone, and basically asking them to share their entrepreneur journey with us.
Okay.
and we were just there as young wannabe entrepreneurs. क्या आप कुछ बोलोगे, कुछ inspiring लगेगा. Whilst we were having lunch, we were having some version of bread.
Okay.
उन दिनों में ना we used to write notes, but we used to keep this dictaphones to record conversations so that we could transcribe it later. And someone made a passing statement कि यार इंडिया में अच्छी bread नहीं मिलती.
अच्छा.
This was not supposed to be a business idea. This was a comment to some bread that we had on the table or some experience someone was relating. I don't remember the context, but it was a passing statement. A few days later, when we were transcribing those notes na, when we listened to the sentence again, we said, यार ये अच्छा business idea है. Because पूरी इंडिया ब्रेड खाती है, बट हम बहुत साधारण, अच्छी साधारण नहीं, हम बहुत ही घटिया ब्रेड खाते थे. इवन लाइक द ब्रेड आई ग्रो अप ईटिंग ना वाज सो बैड, आई कांट एक्सप्लेन टू यू. And we said, okay, let's make authentic good bread because what we are consuming daily, उसमें quality compromise नहीं होना चाहिए.
When you say bad quality, does it have preservatives or
everything?
Standards
if I
are
talk
not
from a
kept.
chef's point of view, which is what used to initially bother me, the techniques were incorrect.
Okay.
You go to any household and you start cooking when the dadi is there, and if you start doing shortcuts ना, दादी को बहुत खटकता है कि तुम हलवा जो बना रहे हो ना, तुमने आज
पूरा process
हलवा
करो.
पूरा घी में अच्छा आटा नहीं सिका और तुमने गैस बंद कर दी. उनको बहुत फर्क पड़ेगा ना.
Correct.
So as a chef, the first thing that used to bother me is the way we make bread in India. We kill all the natural flavor to it.
Okay.
Because we over knead it, we put too much yeast, we don't prove it correctly. Lots of incorrect practices like
Okay.
that. As the business grew, the more I studied bread, we also realized that incorrect practices also meant a lot of stabilizers, a lot of emulsifiers, a lot of preservatives, which honestly a loaf of bread really doesn't need. मतलब मैं हमेशा लोगों को बोलती हूँ कि तुम्हारे घर में जब दाल बनती है, आज सुबह की दाल शाम को भी कई बार लोग नहीं देते ना.
Correct.
कि सुबह की दाल दिन में ही खत्म कर दो. Some things are not designed to last.
Yeah.
And some things shouldn't.
Yeah.
And some things should go bad on the second or the third day.
What if it's kept in the fridge?
फ्रिज ठीक है, फ्रिज में कुछ दिन चल जाएगा.
Right.
बट आई ऑलवेज टेल पीपल कि अगर मेरी ब्रेड आपने दी और उसमें फंगस लग गई, बहुत अच्छी बात है. बिकॉज अब तो मानते हो ना कि मैं प्रेजर्वेटिव नहीं डालती हूँ. बिकॉज जब this is
I'm looking at these experiments in which this guy just put stuff in the glass box.
Yeah.
I don't know his influencer's name. और वो check करता है all the big brands के burgers को डाल के कि जिसमें फंगस लगेगी, that is good. Like what you just said, right? जिसमें फंगस नहीं लग रही तो problem है.
You speak to any nutritionist and she will say if you are buying sabzi or fruits and if it's very beautiful looking ना, कुछ गड़बड़ है. Because natural चीजें इतनी perfect नहीं होती हैं. Exactly. So those are our cues as a consumer. So once you get in the industry, you realize पहले तो like I said उनकी techniques incorrect होती थी. बहुत सारे additives डालते थे. Bread, I think, has always been made in a very unhygienic way.
Okay.
Because it's such a tight margin product that nobody really has the money to spend on ensuring the facility is kept in a particular way.
Okay.
So these were the things we said we will never do.
Okay.
And if it costs us a bit more, which it would, we will inform the consumer of that. And we found consumers, if they know why they are paying the extra, they're willing to pay the extra.
But when you were in London, you got this clear vision that you want to start, or that
this has
day
happened when I was in. So we actually just thought कि bakery का business idea अच्छा है. Then
this is after you guys met for that lunch. उस दिन पता लग गया था कि
उस दिन ये आइडिया आया था हमारे पास. हमारे ऑफिस में एक व्हाइट बोर्ड में से 10-12 आइडिया थे.
अच्छा.
एंड हमने कहा ये वाला शॉर्ट लिस्ट करते हैं. We were still not clear whether we starting a business, but हमने कहा we were still in a research phase.
Got it.
So this I'm talking about March 2012. Now in the research we realized that ये जो भी फाउंडिंग टीम थी इसमें से कोई भी ना बेकरी, हॉस्पिटैलिटी, फूड इंडस्ट्री से नहीं था. हमारी फैमिली में दूर दूर तक कोई इस इंडस्ट्री से नहीं था. And we've always felt कि someone needs to be technically sound.
Okay.
That's when I found a course in New York which was dedicated to bread baking.
Okay.
And I went to New York to see how bread is made. Okay. Obviously I was going to learn, but मेरी intention थी देख दुख कर आ जाते हैं.
Okay.
It's only once I went there and my chefs were so passionate about what they did. And when I started baking and touching the dough and experiencing what is fermentation and eating that later, I was like, यार लाइफ में तो सिर्फ ब्रेड बनानी है और कुछ नहीं करना, सिर्फ ब्रेड बनाएंगे हम.
अच्छा, it was clear.
That day I think
it's a very sensorial experience, you know, like
it
what
is.
we were
And
discussing.
I remember, I think those 2 months I was also by myself. So I feel when you're by yourself now you think and meditate and dwell a lot on what's happening, why it's happening. And on my 5th day, I knew that my whole purpose in life was to bake bread. And I wrote an email to my family saying, okay, I know we have to start a business, which we will, but मेरे को सिर्फ bread बनाना है. That's my only purpose in life. And every time we had to make a really complicated loaf of bread, especially like a croissant, where you have to get the temperatures right and the lamination has to be right.
The puffiness right.
Exactly. Yeah. So I used to chant the Gayatri mantra, like trying to be focused, कि सब अच्छा जाए. And I always tell people that 2 times in my life where I've experienced God. Once is when I was sheeting this croissant, and second is the day I gave birth to my twin boys. Because I think, to me, bread baking can be that sensorially and spiritually uplifting a process.
Wow.
And once you experience that now, I think our consumers also get it now. Because the same energy, the same passion, the same product, वो product में आ जाता है.
When you say Gayatri mantra, is it like a process, ritual you guys follow?
I follow. I as an individual. I think बचपन से जब भूत से डर लगता था, मम्मा कहते थे भगवान का नाम लो, तो we used to chant the Gayatri mantra.
You're the second chef who's telling me this on the show. Yeah, Sherry Mehta. She was here and she does this. Her process is all about chanting and connecting with the food and connecting with the ingredients.
I think that matters. My mom used to tell me as a child that whenever you're cooking, you should be happy. Either you put on music that makes you happy or you surround yourself with people who make you happy. But जब तुम खुश होते हो और वो energy खाने में जाती है ना, वो feel होता है. And
it's creativity.
It is. And I think this is true for so many things we do in life.
That's true.
And which is what we try to do at the Bakers Dozen, that whoever is baking, you must be in a comfortable, happy place and you must really enjoy what you're doing. It can't just be a 8-hour job and a means to an end.
And this is all handmade.
Everything's handmade.
Nothing is machine made.
No.
Nothing.
Everything's handmade.
And okay, so this is interesting because you started slow, 2013. Right?
I mean, the R&D started in 2012. Commercially, we started in 2013.
Okay. And you had met your husband by then?
Yes. So, Sneh and I met in 2008. Okay. Instead, our entire meeting and connecting and romance happened over entrepreneurship because I think initially there was like, oh, love at first sight, some attraction and all of that happening. But when we started spending time together, what we connected the most over was entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And we still get mocked till date by our friends के यार तुम लोगों को अकेला भी छोड़ दे तो कोई रोमांटिक बातें नहीं करो, तो मॉलडीव्स में भी जाके बिजनेस की बातें करनी है. एंड वी ऑलवेज जोक दैट व्हेन वी गो टू अ रियली नाइस रेस्टोरेंट फॉर डिनर, 10 minutes into the dinner एक टिश्यू पेपर हम मांगते हैं, एक पेन हम मांगते हैं और बिजनेस स्ट्रेटेजी बनना शुरू हो जाती है. But I think this is something that excites us. It does not bring us down. It excites us.
And he's your business partner as well.
I think he's my partner in life. And it's not been easy, but it's been a lot of fun.
When you say it's not been easy, means what?
See, when you fall in love with someone, everything's nice and rosy, right?
Yes.
A year or two into it, you're like, oh gosh, like he doesn't pack his bags properly and he doesn't change his t-shirt and
yes,
those
too
things.
Too much exposure, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think those things we were still like really happy with. When we started working, there was a lot. I mean, anyways, I think life is really difficult as an entrepreneur when you start, and we started bootstrap, तो हमारे पास तो पैसे भी नहीं थे, तो life ही इतनी tight होती है. Then as a couple, you realize nor is he earning, nor am I earning. The business is not earning, so how are you going to survive? So there's a lot of hardship that happens. And there are days when you will be unfair to each other. Maybe some of it was justified, a lot of it is not justified. Then there are days when you're like, I can't live with this person, I can't work with this person. All of that happens. But once all this धमाका हो गया और सब काम हो गया ना, then you realize कि यार यही एक है जो मेरी हर एक चीज़ लाइफ में मेरा पेन पॉइंट समझता है.
Right.
He understands my pain point as a husband wife, he understands my pain point as a partner, he understands my pain point as a co-founder, he also understands my pain point now as a co-parent. So then you realize कि ये सब झगड़े ठीक है, but the value and the strength that we have,
faith you have in the relationship.
Also, I think between Sneh and I, we have very complementary strengths.
Okay.
So there's always like, I need you and you need me, and I respect you and you respect me. And I think that once you've crossed that initial hurdle, na, I don't think there's a stronger partnership than this.
Yeah.
Which people sense, which our kids sense, which our families sense, which people at work sense, and they will know कि कई बार ये दोनों सब झगड़ रहे हैं टाइम पास के लिए, but they also know कि झगड़े के बाद में कुछ अच्छा ही होने वाला है. Exactly.
किसी एस्पेक्ट में तो कुछ निकलेगा.
किसी एस्पेक्ट में तो निकलेगा, yeah.
तो how did you have twins?
Twin boys, yes.
Right. And you had your twins early in the marriage?
No, this was, I think, maybe 5 or 6 years into our marriage.
5 or 6 years into marriage. And by then your business had already started.
Yeah. So I think we always say our first child was the baker's dozen.
Okay.
Our second child was our pet Tintin. And then the third child is our twin boys. So ये सब one by one हुआ है.
Okay. So how was motherhood?
With my twin boys?
Yes.
It's been, so I've always wanted kids. We just kind of, I think, delayed the process because हम बेकर्स में बहुत ज़्यादा डूबे हुए थे. तो we were really enjoying it. We were getting very excited, etc. And when the time came and I got pregnant and my pregnancy was not easy. I had morning sickness throughout 9 months.
Okay.
But once the boys were born, something in me changed. And I can't explain how, because literally a week before delivery, I was talking to my gyna के अंकल मेरे को बताओ मैं काम पे वापस कब आ पाऊंगी.
अच्छा.
And he said बेटा 2 महीने तो you should be at home. उसके बाद का हम देखते हैं. I did not come back to work for almost a year and a half because when the kids were born, I only wanted to be with them. I just wanted to, and being with them was not easy because anyways, I think being a mother only is not easy. हमारे तो twin थे तो वो तो कभी सोते ही नहीं. I don't remember sleeping more than 45 minutes at a stretch for my first 2 years of motherhood. But there was a lot of happiness, joy, looking after them, nurturing them, and I was really, really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And as they grew older, I think once they were about a year and a half, then I said, Mama, I want to get back to work now because I've enjoyed this. I want to continue, but I miss being at the baker's and I really want to be there.
Right.
And that's when she kicked in saying, listen, तू जा काम पे, आज 2 घंटा जाना, I'll look after kids. कल 4 घंटा जाना. And धीरे-धीरे.
So transitioned.
हाँ, I think it took me about 2 or 3 weeks to go from a 2-hour workday to a 8-hour. Some of it is wanting to be with kids. A lot of it is what your body allows you. Because there were times when I would go to work and within 2 hours I would start feeling so sleepy.
Yeah.
And I would just keep my head on my table and go off to sleep for half an hour.
It takes 9 months to even come back to the original shape and size.
बहुत time लगता है. And there's a lot of shaming around what a woman's body goes through.
Yeah.
And it was not easy for me to get back to work. There were times when I was in a meeting and I would really struggle concentrating throughout, and I would have to ask the same question 3 times to understand the point. And I think some of it I got away with because I was running the business, but it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
But then what kept you going back? You said you would 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you kept stretching it.
See, I think I always loved Baker's Dozen. I always loved
because
working.
It was your first baby anyway.
Yes, and for me, Baker's Dozen is a business, but it is so passion driven that it gives me a lot of joy.
So having a passion before having kids is easier for you to get back.
I just feel whatever you do in life, it should be out of passion. I know सबके पास ये option नहीं होती. A lot of us have to take up jobs just to pay the bills. But if we can take up something which makes us happy, we are just that much better at it.
And more committed then.
हाँ, and जो आजकल पूरा टॉपिक आता है वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस का, वो थोड़ा सॉल्व हो जाता है because you fell in love with work. So that was also like
it's part of your life.
Exactly.
There's nothing accommodating.
And I felt once the kids started becoming older, I remember when they were about 2 years old, and they hadn't started any version of school at that point. And I had to go to the factory at night, and they were supposed to be sleeping through the night, but clearly that didn't happen. So one of them woke up. तो आई टोल्ड ममा कि मेरे को फैक्ट्री जाना है, मैं उसको भी जाती हूँ मेरे साथ. वो वैसे भी जाग नहीं वाला, वो आपको परेशान करेगा. यू हैव टू लुक आफ्टर द अदर वन.
सो यू टुक वन किड.
सो दिस वाज लाइक लेट्स से अ मंडे नाइट. तो उसको कार सीट में बिठाया, रात को उसको मैं फैक्ट्री ले गई.
हाउ ओल्ड वाज ही?
ही मस्ट बी अबाउट मे बी 23, 24, 25 months. क्वाइट यंग.
ओके.
उसने चलना शुरू कर दिया था, बट स्कूल वूल नहीं होता. एंड आई थिंक एट 2.5 they started some version of a preschool. So I think this must have been about 2 years old. So I took him to the factory at night. उसको भी बड़ा मज़ा आ रहा है, वो मेरे साथ उंगली पकड़ के चल रहा है, and everything that happened. Then we came back the next day. My second son Shaurya was like, "Mama, मेरे को भी जाना है."
अच्छा.
तो 3 days later when I did one more night shift, I said, "आज तेरा नंबर, चल तू भी चल."
Okay.
So I think the kids started seeing that Mama is working, and Mama is working at odd hours of the day.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were thinking how we can be cooperative, but they were thinking how can we enjoy this.
Yeah, someone told me like when I became a mother, she said that you should not fit into your kids' schedule and let kids fit into your schedule, and they'll adapt. Because sometimes husband and wife stop living their life only because they're like, chalo abhi kids ke schedule ke around you live your life.
I should try to maintain a schedule for the kids so that they could sleep, eat on time, to give me some peace.
That's for sure. That's basic.
But a lot of it was like listen, this is our lifestyle as a family. So yes, you have a schedule, I have a schedule.
Integrate. So it's integration.
I mean, today Sneha and I take holidays only based on हमारे बच्चों का स्कूल कैलेंडर क्या बोलता है ना. So obviously their calendar is now dictating our vacation time, which is fine. So as a family you realize कि what needs to happen. And there are so many times when if my mom's not at home or she's traveling, I tell the kids कि स्कूल से सीधा मामा के ऑफिस आ जाओ. I will do my work, you sit there and you do your homework. Or you play or whatever it is that you have to do.
Got it. So you're integrating into each other's
and
lives.
They are very comfortable. By the way, even my upbringing was like this. There were days when I was a handful to my mom and she's like, I'm sending you to Papa's office.
अच्छा.
And पापा के ऑफिस के बाजू में एक छोटा सा खाली कैबिन था, तो मैं बैठ के वहाँ पर जो भी मेरे को करना था मैं करती थी. And then because हम सबको पापा से डर लगता है ना, तो I was a good girl there. Then I would come back in the evening. That chota cabin is still my office cabin. So I always tell people like I've been in this office since I was like that much.
That chotu.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think kids understand that. Plus I also
so that is the new definition of work-life balance. Like what you're just saying. It's about integrating into each other's lives, which brings balance out.
Exactly. And I feel as a woman and as a mother, I have boys, which means I have to work as much harder to raise them right. You know, people say raise your girls right. I don't think that's true. You have to raise your boys right. Yeah. So I want my boys to grow up saying कि women work. At times women work more than their male counterparts. At times the male counterparts help out in the house, help out with the kids, and all of this is normal. It is totally okay. And how can we learn to respect a person even if they're not spending the entire day with us? We get limited time, but how do we still love and respect this person?
With the quantity of time
और ये
which
सब
we are
ना
getting.
बोलने से बच्चे नहीं सीखते, देखते हैं ना, तो वो सबकॉन्शियस लेवल पे कहीं सीख जाते हैं. It's there so many times my kids will tell me कि mama, if you're going to a party we don't like it, you have to be with us. But at the same time if you're going to work we have no problem with it. So they are okay to compromise on mama time if they think it's justified.
Got it.
And I'm okay with that too. That works for me.
Yeah. Kids are smart these days.
Very smart.
They're observing.
And they're so much more vocal.
Yes.
They are
very expressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I don't remember being as vocal when I was a child. It was a lot like, Mama, Papa ne ye bola to hum ye karenge.
Yeah.
Now a lot of it is like, let's have an open conversation.
They have an opinion.
Yes.
It's the Gen Alpha, the typical Gen Alpha
yes.
we are facing.
But where they are like really good boys is they know how to negotiate, and they're like, we have an opinion, we know you get the final call, but let's I will still share with you. But they don't throw tantrums ke ye karo varna ye nahi hoga, those sort of things. Touch wood.
So for a woman to come back after a delivery and get back to workforce, so a proper ecosystem, a support system is required. Like you had your mother and your understanding husband and a larger system. But what if women don't have that? What do you do?
I don't know. Life is really difficult then, but I feel first as women we must ask for help shamelessly.
Okay.
Without feeling guilt around it.
Okay.
It is our right and prerogative to ask for help. This help could be asking for help at work. There have been so many times girls in our office have said, can I just get my child to work for 2-3 hours because I had no one to look after. 2 घंटा जाओ, 8 घंटा जाओ, 10 घंटा जाओ, no problem. And it is totally okay. So there are times when they say, listen, I know today is an important day, but I will not be able to come because of these reasons. And you have to design teams in a way that women get to take that day off, even if it's last minute. So I feel as a woman, before having a child, first, let's get these things in place. It's the same thing, the kind of strategy you would bring to business.
Got it.
Before you start a business, you think, ना, मैं पैसे कहाँ से लाने वाली हूँ, मैं प्रोडक्ट कहाँ से लाने वाली हूँ, मैं पैकेजिंग कहाँ से करवाने वाली हूँ. So before having a child, think, who's going to be my support system post this child?
Yeah.
What is my husband going to do? What am I going to do? Is my mother-in-law going to help? When we were in Bombay, in our same complex, Sneha's Bua used to stay. So she became our support system.
Okay.
So you ask for help from anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
We became really pally with our neighbors.
Yeah.
And there would be times when I would tell my neighbor कि आंटी मेरे को 2 घंटा अभी बेकरी जाना है, मैं बच्चों को आपके पास छोड़ के जाऊँ. So you shamelessly ask for help.
Not go into victim consciousness. You have to just get out of it.
उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है.
फायदा नहीं है.
कोई फायदा नहीं है. Not that is justified. When a woman says कि ये हुआ, it's not that she's complaining for no rhyme or reason. It's extremely justified.
Yeah.
At the end आता है कि ठीक है अब करना क्या है. So you shamelessly ask. You should not feel guilty asking for this help. मेरे को initially होता था. Asking my own mother ना मैं घंटे गिनती थी कि आज मम्मा को कितने घंटे जागना पड़ा. And then one day she told me कि तू प्लीज़ ये सब बंद कर. I enjoy this. I enjoyed raising you guys.
So don't be guilty about what I'm doing.
Yes, and it took me a lot of time to come to this level that don't be guilty. And then I feel कि I wasted several months in this guilt. I don't want other mothers going through this. So I tell a lot of pregnant women कि ये तुमको ये सब होगा. You will feel depressed, guilt, etc.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. You should allow yourself to feel that, but unnecessary guilt लेकर नहीं जाने का है.
Got it. But how did you balance kids and home? I mean, even if you have support, because motherhood changes you.
I think
always
first of
carry
all,
that little guilt or little.
देखो थोड़ा तो रहता है, and कुछ हद तक ठीक भी है. A lot of it is prioritization, where you say, like my kids said कि mama don't go to a party. So I stopped a lot of socializing with my friends because देखो होता क्या था, we've always had a 6-day work week. So Monday to Saturday we are working. तो उस दिन शाम को बच्चों के साथ 2 घंटे मिल रहे हैं. संडे इज द ओनली डे यू गेट. सो स्नेहा आई आल्सो फेल्ट कि यार एक दिन मिलता है, वीड रादर बी विद आवर किड्स देन अ लॉट ऑफ आवर फ्रेंड्स. एंड इट्स नॉट दैट वी वर इग्नोरिंग आवर फ्रेंड्स, वी जस्ट फेल्ट कि दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू डू राइट नाउ, दिस इज व्हाट वी वर एंजॉयिंग डूइंग राइट नाउ. एंड आवर फ्रेंड्स आल्सो अंडरस्टूड दैट. सो अ लॉट ऑफ इट इज एक्सेप्टिंग दैट आई एम गोइंग टू हैव अ डिफरेंट लाइफ. And initially it is not easy to accept. Initially it bothers you, but you start gradually becoming okay with it. And I always tell people that let's not complain about the cards we are dealt. Let's see what is the best I can make with these cards, which is true in motherhood, as a husband, wife, in business. ये same philosophy हर जगह चलती है.
Okay, so see, you have 2 kids, you have a flourishing business, you have a very strong business acumen.
Yeah.
But I always feel if you don't have a proper balance in mental and physical health as well,
yes,
then everything will fall apart.
Very true.
What is your go-to hack?
For me, I started going to the gym about 6 years ago.
Okay.
Initially, the idea was I just want to get into a good shape. I need my body to be fitter. I need to look better. A year into it, I realized कि ये सब तो goal में नहीं achieve कर पाने वाली हूँ.
नहीं करना.
But I realized, I remember giving up gym for about 6-8 months when I was I was doing a management course from IIM Bangalore, and it was work, kids in this course were becoming too difficult, so I gave up on gym. वो 6 महीने में मैं बहुत बीमार पड़ती थी. हर महीने में एंटीबायोटिक ले रही थी.
The ones you gave up or once you would when you were doing it?
Those 6 months when I gave up.
When you gave up. Okay.
Then I realized gymming was helping me be healthier. It may or may not be getting me to the size I wanted, but it was definitely helping me.
Working on some level.
Yes. So then I figured out a way कि कुछ भी compromise हो लाइफ में ये चीज़ नहीं हो सकती है. So now I've designed my schedule in a way where 4 days a week I get to go to the gym, I get to work out, and I think as we grow older now, maintaining your body in terms of stamina is extremely important, because after a point we start degrading faster. So there are things for, like when it comes to eating healthy, I eat a lot of homemade food.
Okay.
I think if we have, let's say, 14 meals a week, at least 12 if not 13 of them will be homemade. So I always believe कि घर का खाना जितना healthy कुछ भी नहीं होता. Working out is very important for me.
Okay.
And now from the point ki what will make me stronger, healthier, what will make my muscles better.
Right. So this is about you.
Yes.
What about the environment in the house? Is your husband also into fitness and health? Are your kids also getting exposed to this aspect about yourself?
So the kids, yes, Sneha also works out 3-4 times a week at least. We don't do it together. He has a different time slot and I have a different time slot. Our kids, obviously, they're too young for a gym workout.
But they're observing you guys.
But they're extremely active in sports. They love playing in the garden. They love their football. They love their cricket. And not a little bit. These guys are crazy and very high stamina.
Yeah.
Instead, they, if I ever have to plan a holiday and that holiday happens to be on a football day, you can't plan that holiday.
Yeah.
They will never miss their football class.
Got it.
So I think as a family, हम सबको मालूम है कि health बहुत important है, and with kids it's easier because they play with sports and they have better stamina.
Yeah.
उनको तो ये play time है.
So I was also curious because see the way you guys have expanded and the business pressures, this all comes from something which you're investing on yourself, which is time, right?
Yes.
You need to take out that me time and invest on yourself, because that much energy is going out to everybody around, your staff, your partners, your investors. So talking about your business, what is the current status and how are you looking to expand further?
when you say current status now, what are we talking about? Are we talking about financials?
Yes.
Okay. So, I think whether we were in 2013 when we were making about 25 loaves a day, and I think we were doing a revenue of maybe 4, 5, 6 lakhs a month.
Okay.
Compared to today when we produce close to about 25,000 loaves a day, and we are doing a revenue of about 7.5 crores a month. The food philosophy, the brand philosophy has remained the same.
The vision
कि
is same,
अच्छा क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट बनाना है. मैं तो बोलती हूँ व्हाट डू यू डिफाइन एज अच्छा क्वालिटी, जो मैं अपने बच्चों को फीड करूँगी. आई हैव ईटन माई प्रोडक्ट थ्रू माई प्रेगनेंसी, थ्रू पोस्ट डिलीवरी. When our kids were about 8-9 months and they could start eating proper solids,
Okay.
I fed them my product.
Okay.
My dad, who's a diabetic, eats a sourdough and doesn't get any sugar spikes. So my
wow.
quality standard is कि अगर in my most vulnerable position, whether me and my family are eating, ये मैं बना सकती हूँ तो ये मैं बेच सकती हूँ. It is
So wheat product is not spiking his sugar.
so now again this changes body to body.
Okay.
We use a lot of sourdough in all our products.
Okay.
Whether this is a traditional sourdough bread which is like oval and crusty, or which is this is a sadharan bread like a pav or a sliced sandwich bread.
Yeah.
We put a lot of sourdough in all of them.
Yeah.
Sourdough automatically is gut friendly. उसके तो gut के इतने benefits है, list इतनी लंबी है.
Okay.
Sourdough obviously adds to taste. Recently we've realized with sourdough, a lot of our consumers have told us we don't get sugar spikes.
Wow.
Is
Are
this
they wearing the patch or they do their checks like on insulin?
a lot of some of them wear the patch, some of them use those prick
Pricks,
monitors
yeah.
on a daily
Yeah, yeah,
basis. This is not an established science right now, so I can't officially make this claim, but ये हमने काफ़ी जगहों पे notice किया है.
Okay.
And a lot of people tell us कि आपकी sourdough में खाने के बाद ना मेरे को वो bread पर तो भारी भारी feeling नहीं आती है.
अच्छा.
Instead, I remember in 2021 when we were opening our store in Bangalore, a customer came and said, listen, I don't eat gluten wala bread, but your bread does not have the same reaction as other whole wheat breads. And obviously whole wheat है तो gluten तो है ही. Nowhere are we close to gluten free. We're not even half gluten.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of this is sourdough. And the quantity of sourdough that we put in.
Okay.
So I just feel, and it's यार वो लॉजिक ना सेम ही तो तुम नानी के हलवे से कोई कभी मोटा होता है नहीं होता ना, बिकॉज उन्होंने शुद्ध घी यूज किया, अच्छा आटा यूज किया, कितने प्यार से बनाया है.
Compromise नहीं है उसमें.
हाँ, so the people think this sounds like fluff, but no, this is really true.
Yeah.
So I feel like our food philosophy has always remained the same, that we want to make the highest quality product. Where we've also adapted to this philosophy is in our early 5-6 years, I used to make the statement that when I develop a recipe, whether it's a bread or a cake, I don't look at the cost price of it. I make that product the way I would have made it for my mother or my child.
Okay.
And whatever it cost, and then you do your markup that you have to do and sell it at the MRP you have to sell it at. And consumers were extremely okay with this. A few years ago, I'd gone to a DMart store and with my kids again doing some grocery shopping to see how things work. And I realized that, yaar, Aditi, in not trying to be arrogant, but you also made this statement that when I don't look at the cost price and I've made a high quality product, there are people out there who look at the cost price, who cannot afford this product. And what you're subtly trying to say is, there is a certain strata of society that deserves to eat this and the rest don't get to eat it.
So what did you do?
So we did two things. We looked at the entire cost structure of our product and we said what makes it unnecessarily expensive.
Okay.
Raw material, we said हम कभी compromise नहीं करेंगे because वो customer को चाहिए. We looked at our packing material, we looked at our manufacturing cost, we looked at our supply chain cost, we looked at all of this जो खर्चे बाद में लगते हैं. And we started finding ways wherever there was fat in the business, वो सब निकाला. So now a consumer is able to buy a great quality sourdough whole wheat sandwich bread जो हमारी initially 100 रुपए की थी, अब at 65 rupees. So now we are competing with almost like a Britannia player out there.
Lovely.
We are maybe 5-6 rupees more expensive.
You're also into sustainability, right? All the packaging and all you are doing.
We also did that. So first thing was let's make our product good quality but affordable.
Yeah.
Because everybody should get to it.
Yeah.
Second was अब तो affordable कर दिया but distribution कैसे बढ़ाओगे? So initially we were a pure D2C brand which you could buy only from our stores. Today you can buy a Baker's Dozen product across about 33 cities pan India.
Okay.
Across about 2,000 different touch points.
Okay.
Whether this is QuickCom, whether it's a Nature's Basket, whether it's a Namdhari, whether it is e-com, Amazon, all of it. So we've just we've spread
But your
widely.
factory is in Ahmedabad.
So our Ahmedabad factory produces breads for Ahmedabad and all the cakes, cookies, crackers, pan India. We've put up many factories now in the past 1 year in Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, जहाँ पर रोज ब्रेड वहाँ पर बनती है.
And who's doing your branding?
Our branding, we have a agency who does the designing for us.
Okay.
Or the rest of the marketing happens in-house.
All in-house. So
Everything
you have
in-house.
people in-house, the team is in-house.
Yes, yes,
You also
yes.
do influencer marketing?
Some of it, yes.
Okay.
ज़्यादा नहीं किया है, थोड़ा किया है.
Okay.
I don't think we've cracked the formula with influencer marketing as yet.
Okay.
But what works for us is a lot of honest content that we put out there. We share a lot of videos of our factory. We share a lot of videos of how things are made and how things are packed. We share a lot of videos telling them कि हमारे लेबल में जब आप पढ़ते हो उसका क्या मतलब
Your
होता है.
factory visits, are they inspired from wine trails and whiskey trails?
No,
Because I was
our
wondering.
factory visits have a very silly logic actually.
Tell
Our
me.
first little kitchen was in Vadada in Bombay. And our kitchen opened in December 2012 and we were supposed to open a store at the same time. किसी कारण से हमारी स्टोर की लोकेशन फाइनलाइज थी, कुछ लीगल प्रॉब्लम चल रही थी, तो वी कुड नॉट स्टार्ट विद द स्टोर. एंड देन वी स्टार्टेड डूइंग डिलीवरी ऑफ ब्रेड्स.
Okay.
हम घर घर जाके डिलीवर करते थे. फिर कुछ कस्टमर्स ने कहा बेटा मेरे को तुम्हारी किचन देखनी है.
अच्छा.
तो ऐसे राजा आंटी. एंड किचन वॉज लाइक माई फेवरेट प्लेस. हमारी तो किचन जब छोटी थी या बड़ी थी हमेशा मस्त चमकती हुई थी. So we started inviting a lot of customers, guests, just to come see the kitchen. And they would come and we used to do a lot of workshops though, because दुकान नहीं थी दिखाने की. And this became a huge USP for us because we were not hiding the kitchen.
Yeah.
So we've always had a kitchen which is very nice, clean. They would see the ingredients kept on the shelves and they would say, ये तो मेरे घर पे भी है, ये तो मेरे घर पे भी है. So the trust started coming कि सच्ची तो कुछ shortcut नहीं करते हैं.
Yeah.
And then we realized that this works.
Yeah.
And people just want to see honest content. So in a lot of our marketing, what works for us is not influencers saying that this is good, but we invite people to our factory in Ahmedabad.
So
We do a lot of testimonials. We do a lot of video content of how things are made. People also get very fascinated.
So it's a
with
very
bakery.
provenance heritage story.
Exactly.
Getting to the roots.
Yeah. And even our factory in Ahmedabad is designed in a very sexy, very cliche way. It doesn't look like a factory. It has all glass panels and you can see through. When you're sitting in the conference room, you can see the bread kitchen and the pastry kitchen and seeing what's happening.
Oh, lovely.
And we always sit in a way where the guest gets to not look at us, but look at what's happening behind.
Wow.
Because we really have nothing to hide. Instead, we want to show it off more if possible.
But now, do you have like this official? People can just go?
We do a lot of guest invites, whether it's our partners, our vendors. A lot of schools in Ahmedabad send their kids for their
workshops.
picnics, for workshops, for field visits over there. And उनको तो दिखाने में, बच्चों को दिखाने में जो मज़ा आता है ना, because they ask the most interesting questions, the most shameless questions, and उनको दिखाने में हमारी PhD हो जाती है. उस यूँ अच्छा ये तो नहीं आता था मेरे को, वो नहीं आता था. अगले टाइम I'll be better prepared.
Right. What is your USP? Your business USP?
I think the biggest USP the Bakers Dozen has is we make handmade small scale bakery products, but they're available pan India. So this small scale but with a larger distribution, that is the formula we've cracked.
Okay. And how did you manage that?
Sneh always wanted something very scalable. I always wanted something very high quality. तो कौन जीतेगा ये झगड़े में? Okay. So out of what he wanted and what I wanted, out of this jhagda, this output came out. Yes, like I told you पहले ना जब दो लोग झगड़ते ना, eventually कुछ अच्छा निकल जाता है.
Is it safe to say you guys have a very unique business offering in India?
I think it is safe to say that the way we are going about expanding it is unique.
Okay.
There will be lots of mom and pop shop bakeries pan India who are making an excellent product, as good or better than ours. But the fact that we are able to distribute it and you get it easily wherever, whenever you want, that is what makes it very unique. I remember being at a farmer's market selling bread in Bangalore, and the lady who picked it up and she said, oh, I love it, but मेरे को हैदराबाद में कैसे मिलेगी? मैंने कहा आंटी डोंट वरी, आप वहाँ पर कोई भी क्विक प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाओ, वहाँ पर मिल जाएगा आपको. So there was like a lot of, oh, thank you. ऐसा कई बार नहीं था, you go to a farmer's market, you like, ये तो मैं कभी वापस नहीं खरीद पाऊंगी. Those sort of things. So I think that's what makes us really unique.
Yeah. And what are the next 5 years looking like?
Next 5 years, like I said, we want to make it even more affordable and even more easily available, because आई जस्ट फील आई लव माई ब्रेड सो मच, पूरी इंडिया को खाना चाहिए. तो अभी पूरी इंडिया पे हम कैसे पहुंचाएंगे इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी, इन टर्म्स ऑफ द कॉस्ट प्राइस, इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. दैट्स व्हाट वी आर रियली आफ्टर. Second,
how important is marketing for you?
How important marketing is the most important thing, because what happens is when you're much smaller na, you get away with a lot of things because your product is so niche. वो organic word of mouth marketing से काम हो जाता है. Now when we start becoming scalable, you are competing with the mass brands also and the prestige brands also.
That's true.
So you have to be able to explain why me. Why should you put in the extra effort to buy me? Why should you pay that there is extra for me? And that is extremely important. And
do you have decent marketing budgets?
Yes.
And how much of it is focused on brand versus product?
Most of it is towards the brand.
Towards the brand.
Yes.
As of now, you need brand building, of course.
So just
brand versus product.
We've raised funds from the market in the past 3 years. So now obviously there is some flux to experiment with marketing, जो हमारे पास initially नहीं था. We do more point of sale marketing because our conversions are much better. And then we do more off point of sales marketing. Okay. But marketing remains the core to what we are doing, because how else are you going to grow?
Yeah.
And competition is growing all the time. Yeah. And there's so much content out there, not just in our industry. Generally, there's so much content for people to consume that you have to be upping the game every month.
Sure. So have you considered brand face?
We've recently done a campaign with Soha Ali Khan. Yeah. It's a small collaboration over a limited period of time where she's talking about the fact that we have no nasties in our product. We have zero maida, we have no palm oil, things like that, and we're experimenting with how this goes. It's been, now we're about 20 days into the campaign, and I can already see that there's attraction because she's an extremely credible person.
Yeah.
She talks by nature a lot about health and fitness, so there's a lot of trust in her when she would promote a product like that.
But is it impacting awareness, or it's going to impact also your down the funnel sales?
Right now, because it's early on, it will be more awareness, which is what we're looking after.
What you're looking after? Are you measuring it? Are you putting some studies?
Yes, we have. Okay. It's just too early for us to give any metric to it right now, but it is. Our main thing is awareness right now, because we feel if you are able to bring awareness towards your product, to get them to experiment for the first time, now the taste and the price point have to do the rest of the job. Now, no celebrity campaign can work. The celebrity campaign can only help you
drive the awareness.
Yes.
But down the funnel, it has to be product.
Yes, it has to be product and the price you're selling it at. And how easily it's available in all those operations that
Are you going to do like some pop-up shops at malls, some activations?
No, we
during festival period, because it's just happening now.
We find it far more lucrative to do more marketing activities at point of sales, because the customer over there has now gone with the intention.
So like a Nature's Basket
or a Blinkit platform or a Reliance, because the customer's gone there to
with a state of mind
with
to
the
shop.
intention. Now you're telling them these are all the options.
So what kind of activity would you do there?
Recently, because it's Diwali period now, we've launched festive hampers.
Okay.
So where initially a lot of people would buy a product and put it in a hamper with mixed products and sell. But आजकल तो हम सबको लास्ट में राखी करवा चौथ सब याद आता है, and you want a ready-made hamper, right? So we've done a lot of Diwali gifting hampers like this, and it's only been in the market for about 10 days now, and I think we're already 90% sold out of the inventory. Instead, we got an order yesterday, and Sneha and I were figuring out कि हम ये cater कैसे करेंगे. So these hampers are working really well.
Marketing really helps, right? All these big occasions, so Rakhi,
and
Diwali.
आजकल I think occasions पूरे साल अब हो जाते हैं ना, because होली आ गई, उत्तरायण हो गया. A lot of times occasions also like I'm coming over to your house, can I get something
more personal?
So exactly. So even a lot of quick com platforms are concentrating a lot on gifting being a permanent thing.
Yeah.
So yes, this would work for us.
But from a branding perspective, have you thought of how you want to position this brand amongst Gen Z or millennials? Is it more quirky, fun? Is it serious?
No, I don't think we've ever been serious, but we've always this certain amount of quirkiness, but a lot of authentic and honesty, and I feel that is a message that serves across generations. Obviously, you have to find quirkier and more innovative ways of making the same point again.
Do you have communication? Do you have a comms for it?
Our marketing team looks at, because the messaging is very clear. We're talking about no nasties, we're talking about real ingredients. What this means is हम palm oil नहीं use करेंगे. हम अगर कोई ब्रेड को होल व्हीट बोल रहे हैं तो उसमें मैदा नहीं होने वाला, उसमें से आटा होगा.
Product led.
Then a lot of it is our banana bread is really white, so tasty because it has real bananas in it. And consumers need this little small bits of information to help them make the choice. Why this banana bread over someone else's banana bread?
So very strong digital strategy and point of sales, and influencers also would play a huge role eventually.
Hamare sampling also works really great. So in a lot of physical stores, we have promoters who will make you taste the product. Because I feel with food, nothing sells as good as मैं कितना भी बोल दूँ, आप चखोगे तो मैं ना बोलूँ तो भी आप खरीदोगे.
Correct.
And that works brilliantly for us.
So there are these places like where the simulation happens for kids, right? They show how pizzas are made, how breads are made. Do you consider to take a place there?
I don't think
for branding purpose.
Not right now. I don't think that is something we are looking at currently.
Okay.
I think our big market is.
Who's your audience?
Initially, we used to think these are 30, 35 plus women married with kids who want to make more conscious choices. But a lot of our sales data for the past 6-7 months that we've been looking at says they are definitely a market, but there is an age group between 20 to 30 who are conscious eaters.
20 to 30.
And there's a huge market there. And these are people who are buying a product. Now we need to adapt more of our messaging in a way that they find it interesting to see.
Got it.
The message does not change, the way of communication changes.
These would be your Gen Z.
Gen Zs, yes.
Primarily
yes.
Gen Z. So,
because they are far more conscious of the choices that they're making. And we were raised in a way कि जब बड़े होगे पैसे कमाओगे फिर अच्छी चीज़ खरीदना. That is not the philosophy of Gen Z.
Generation.
Where they are saying, listen, I deserve to have something good even if I'm not earning. I will earn at some point. But today when I'm 20, 21, I'm going to college, I still deserve to eat something good. I still deserve to be healthy. And some of those choices are good choices because the kind of damage bad food can do to you early on, na, kitne bhi to multivitamins khा दो, exercise कर दो, घर का खाना खाओ, it's very difficult to fix it later. So it's good.
Are you doing any studies? Are you doing any studies or reports in collaboration?
We are doing some research with a few scientists to figure out the benefits of sourdough on different parts of your health, like the way I said, sugar or gut and so on, because there's a lot of goodness to it. अभी भी हमारे देश में sourdough is still premium, fancy, and people are buying it for the gourmet value. They've not totally grasped the health value.
It's not for everyday breakfast yet.
Yes, but it should be.
It is.
It should be. Which is why we've taken sourdough and put it in sadharan breads like a sandwich bread, a pav, a pita, pizza. Saying, okay, you don't want to eat the crusty loaf. Maybe not every day. Maybe you don't like it. If you like your soft square bread, it should still have all those health benefits. Like I said, why the health benefits only at a particular price point? Everybody should get it.
Everybody should get it.
Yeah.
It should be as uniform.
It should be. Why not?
Do you see your kids getting into this career?
I don't think so.
No?
I think...
have they voiced it?
अभी उसको क्रिकेट खेलना है, उसको विराट कोहली बनना है, तो आई डोंट थिंक उसको
बनना है, दूसरे को कुछ
मतलब they are obsessed with sports right now, and I think it's okay. I mean, there's no real point for them to think about this right now. They should just do what drives them and what excites them.
Yeah. What's next? Shark Tank?
No, I think I think we're a little bigger for Shark Tank.
As a judge. I meant as a judge.
I think we're much smaller for that too. I think where we are at right now is Bakers hasn't always been bootstrapped. We did some fundraising about 2-3 years ago. That's when the first time we got external fund infusion. We did a lot of experimentation. We made profit some days, we made losses some days. Now, where we know is where is the product fit, what is the marketing. We know financially we have to be profitable, which we are now.
Yeah.
So we are very clear that ye jo stability mili hai, this is what we have to maintain growing forward also. So I think that has come in the ethos of the brand. Second, I think when we're talking about sustainability, एक तो था हमारा P&L sustainable होना चाहिए, जो हमने एक साल बहुत मेहनत करके उसको sustainable बनाया है.
Explain.
Like we were discussing earlier, where we were talking about a whole wheat जो हमारी पहले 120 रुपए की थी, उसको 60 पे कैसे जाना. So we took business decisions which did not
compromise the product.
We cut the fat out. Exactly. Second, a project that we took about 2.5 years ago, because we're talking about sustainability ना, environmental sustainability also matters. And like I was telling you, नाना हमेशा बोलते थे कुछ भी करो अपने देश के लिए करो. Our environment is such a universal problem, and really not a problem most of us are taking seriously. About 2 years ago, we said कि यार एक brand है, उसकी एक personality है, personality is so product driven, some of it is finance driven, but what about the environment we are taking away so much from? उसके बारे में हम क्या करने वाले हैं? So we hired an agency from Bombay who did a study for us to understand what is the carbon footprint of the baker's dozen.
Okay.
How much are we taking away from the environment? And they did a very deep study कि आप प्लास्टिक में कितना करते हो, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में कितना करते हो, सप्लाई चेन में कितना करते हो.
So they calculated
कि कितना टन
footprint आपका हर एक प्रोसेस के हर एक पार्ट में कितना है.
प्रोसेस वाइज, सिटी वाइज, प्रोडक्ट वाइज, सब कुछ डिटेल कैलकुलेशन की.
Okay.
Then once we had this data, we said, what next? So we identified 2 things in it. One was plastic neutrality, which means we have to recycle as much plastic as we are using.
Got it.
Second is green deliveries, which means हमारा supply chain का जितना भी carbon footprint होता है. A truck will go from Ahmedabad to Bombay. There will be a tempo from Bombay का factory to the Bombay का warehouse to the partner का warehouse and all this. इसका जो carbon footprint है, that we have to offset. So these are the first 2 projects we took up. When we were taking up these projects, which was about a year and a half, the company was making huge losses. And now we're trying to cut out the fat. First thing the finance team says, तो ये project क्यों करना है? Because this is not something that's going to give you monetary benefit. Maybe in the future, but it is not today. अब वापस the passion comes in कि यार
कुछ तो
करना तो है, ये तो डिसाइड कर दिया, पैसे नहीं है वो भी हमें मालूम है. So I remember talking to about 15-20 of our team members कि we need about 20-30 lakhs to offset some of this.
Okay.
How are we going to start?
Okay.
And this is where I feel passion comes in. We have a storekeeper in our factory who said कि मैम ये जो अपने पास LPG के सिलेंडर्स आते हैं ना, जिससे हमारा ओवन चलता है, ये ना रोज़ जब मैं वापस करता हूँ उसमें 3-4 kg LPG फ्री का जाता है.
अच्छा.
तो मैं इसकी बेटर काउंटिंग करूँगा, बेटर यूज़ करूँगा और पूरा खाली होने दूंगा,
ऑप्टिमाइज करूँगा उसको.
एग्जैक्टली. देन आवर डिस्पैच मैनेजर से हम कार्टन्स खरीदते हैं जिसमें प्रोडक्ट्स पैक करके बेचते हैं. मैं इसको थोड़ा कंट्रोल करता हूँ, इसको ऑर्डरिंग, एंड वहाँ पैसे बचाऊँगा. बाय 2 of these things we saved about 15 lakh rupees a year. तो मेरा तो निकल गया बजट इसका.
My God.
लास्ट हमने बोला कंपनी का. देन वी रियलाइज्ड कि यार देयर आर स्मॉलर एस्पेक्ट्स आल्सो वेयर द फैट एग्जिस्ट व्हिच वी डोंट रियलाइज. एंड दिस द टीम डिड ओनली बिकॉज उनको प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी का इंटरेस्ट नहीं था. उनको था कि यार ये प्रोजेक्ट बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, हमको करने का है अपने एनवायरनमेंट के लिए कुछ. एंड लाइक आई सेड, एनवायरनमेंट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ माई सिटी और माई नेशन, इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. So that is something extremely important at the baker's dozen. And gradually, how are we going to up this? अभी हम 2 चीज़ offset कर रहे हैं. How will we do the 3rd one, the 4th one, and so on, so on.
Okay. And does this lead to anything bigger for you guys in future? I mean, to be environmentally conscious, does it get better fundings, better investors
It may not, but I don't think that's the motivation, honestly.
No, but I'm saying as a side effect, let's say.
देखो यार, हमने जब सावरडो भी बनाना शुरू किया था ना 2013 में, तब तो इंडिया में किसी को सावरडो मालूम ही नहीं था.
प्रोनाउंस करना भी नहीं आता.
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. तो कोविड के टाइम पर हम सब सावरडो एक्सपर्ट्स बन गए हैं. सो स्नेहा एंड आई हैव ऑलवेज टेकन डिसीजंस व्हिच वी फील आर द राइट डिसीजंस. द वैल्यू सिस्टम टेल्स अस कि ये करो. व्हाट वी हैव आल्सो रियलाइज्ड, most times these decisions have had a financial payout also.
Understood.
So there's a very strong correlation.
Got it.
To give you a small example is during the pandemic, जब second wave चल रही थी, which was very traumatic, and a lot of companies were contributing by getting hospital beds, oxygen, this that, and we were thinking हम क्या करेंगे. तब उन दिनों में ना कोविड वैक्सीन के अगेंस्ट बहुत सारा फियर था कि वैक्सीन दूंगी क्लॉट हो जाएगा, मर जाएंगे, पता नहीं क्या होगा. So we came up with this campaign called The Dose We Need, which said कि if you go and take any sort of vaccine, whether first, second, doesn't matter, and show us a valid certificate for it, we will send you a box of cookies. It was the same idea कि जब हम डॉक्टर के पास जाते इंजेक्शन देते तो वो टॉफी देते थे,
या दांत निकालते तो आइसक्रीम खाने को.
Exactly. So we were trying to do that. Now when we initially planned for this, we said कुछ 1000-1500 जाएंगे कुकीज, तो इतनी बना देंगे. We started a website, and इसमें where we went to the thing कि we did not want this customer data. So we made a software which would validate कि certificate valid है कि नहीं, but ये customer data हम नहीं देने वाले थे. Because the intention was not customer data collection. This went so viral, in I think about a week we had to put an end to it because we got 10,000 valid entries pan India. उतना बजट नहीं था कुकीज़ बनाने का, उतनी कैपेसिटी नहीं थी कुकीज़ बनाने की. सो मिडवे वी सेड अब खत्म, बट ये 10,000 को भिजवाना है. सो वी टू राइट टू 10,000 पीपल दैट योर कुकीज़ आर कमिंग, इट विल टेक सम टाइम, आप हमें 10-15 दिन दो, हम भिजवाते हैं. Now we were only doing this because we felt we wanted to contribute.
Got it.
But a lot of media came to us and said कि why are you doing this? Like what is your CTA? आप कुछ उसको बोल रहे हो तो 500 रुपये का खरीद, फिर मैंने कहा नहीं. कस्टमर डेटा दे रहे हो नहीं. उसको कुछ डेटाबेस में डाल रहे हो नहीं. So everyone was amazed कि how can you so altruistically do this?
Yes.
And that eventually garnered us a lot of media coverage.
Good PR and positive.
So we always say कि अगर दिल से आवाज़ निकलती है ना, कभी ना कभी भगवान 6 महीने में, 2 साल में, 4 साल में he will do something.
So conscious entrepreneurship, if I call it, like what you guys are doing is not like just के money तो बन जाएगा,
money बन जाता है,
but do it the right way, do it the more human way,
and we have to enjoy it, you know. At the end of the day, we've been gifted this human life of maybe 60, 70, 80 years. Everything cannot be driven by money. So if you really enjoy what you do, money will always come.
Always follow.
Always follow. There's no way it will not.
So human values over anything else.
Yes, and I think it works. I'm not trying to be saintly कि ये करो और शायद हो या शायद ना हो. I have full faith that if all of us do things in the correct way, every need, necessity we have, it will get satisfied. When nobody knows. It could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years down the line.
Got it. Do you have an approach of hiring your staff? Are you looking for like a atypical type of people to join your tribe? Because you do come with a very clear vision of where you're heading.
Our biggest criteria when we're driving is we actually don't look at qualifications. Instead, the more underqualified, the better it is.
Okay.
We only look at कि आपको काम करने में कितना मज़ा आता है. Instead, to give you an example, we have about 80 odd bakers in our factory. इनमें से कोई 6th पास भी नहीं होगा.
Okay.
इन्होंने कभी हॉस्पिटैलिटी, दूसरा बेकरी एक्सपीरियंस कुछ भी नहीं किया है. Our factory is in Kheda, which is a district about an hour away from Ahmedabad. In villages near Kheda, people come here. They initially knew nothing of baking. They've been trained on this the way my chefs trained me. And today I believe they are one of the best bakers the country has, because they may not understand how to put what they do in a very scientific way, but they understand what is proving, what is underproving, ये कितना mixing करना चाहिए, what is over mixing, उसको हाथ से कैसे shape करना चाहिए, उसको oven में कब डालना चाहिए, you should not over fill an oven. अगर उसकी capacity 10, greedy होके 12 मत डालो. They understand all of this.
Wow.
So I always
feel... So you generated employment, technically.
I mean, I think all entrepreneurs do. Yeah. We always believed whether it came out of goodwill or कई बार we were so young, nobody good wanted to come to Baker's Dozen. When you're too young, nobody wants to think ना इस business का क्या होगा.
Yeah.
So we always said कि underqualified होंगे, धीरे धीरे हम train हो जाएंगे. इसमें passion बढ़ता है. इसमें मेरे को लगता है they are more loyal to the company. And all of you are perpetually on the same wavelength. So you don't have to spend a lot of time alignment लाने में.
And they've stuck around all these years?
A lot of them have. Instead, when we
how large is your staff currently?
Our staff pan-India, on-roll and off-roll, will be close to about 300 odd people.
Across India?
Across India.
And in Ahmedabad?
In Ahmedabad, we will have close to about 120 people in our manufacturing and about 40 people in our head office.
Interesting.
Instead, when we moved our manufacturing from Bombay to Ahmedabad, a lot of people from Bombay moved to Ahmedabad. We have girls who moved, who got their brothers to move, who got their fathers to move, who got their mothers to move. Then they started working in our company.
Wow.
So a lot of girl-driven stuff happens.
Lovely. I want to, before we go into the next section, I thought we'll just make it a little light. Okay. So I'm going to ask you questions whether it's going to be bake it or break it for you. Okay.
ठीक है.
Launch a bread making course for young women entrepreneurs. Bake it or break it.
Bake it.
Expand your product line.
Bake it is yes, right? हाँ ठीक है.
Expand your product line to include sweets and pastries beyond just bread.
We already do that. We already do cakes, cookies, crackers.
But will that ever become your hero?
Yes. Bake it, definitely.
Okay. Wake up at 5 a.m. daily to make the perfect sourdough.
वो तो हमें I have to stay up at night to make it. I don't have to wake up at 5. This happens through the night.
Through the night.
Yeah. I've done lots of night shifts. And that is the good part. Instead of October, November, December peak season हमारा.
How much time does it take?
A sourdough end to end, I mean, if you already have the starter ready with you, because you have to have, it is a 5-hour process minimum.
Wow.
If not longer.
It's more than baking a cake.
हाँ केक्स इज सुपर ईजी. हमारे 1 घंटे में जितनी सावडो बनती है उसका 10 गुना तो उतने में केक्स बन जाते हैं हमारे.
Delegate most of your day-to-day operations to focus on family and self-care. Bake it or break it.
Halfway. I have learned to do a lot of delegation in the past 5 years. It will never be कि पूरा काम छोड़ के family or the other way around. But I've realized there was a lot of things that I needed to train my team to do. It's better for the business. It's better for me.
So you know the art of letting go and art of when you need to step in.
हाँ वो you have to. If you don't let go, you're not going to be able to grow as a business.
Yes.
Forget spending time with your family. Even if that's not your motivation, if you cannot build a team and train them to do the job as well as what you would have done, it's not possible to grow the business at all. And I think my kids taught me this. My kids taught me to be efficient.
Okay.
Ideally, it should have started much earlier. But जब बच्चे आए थे, now you want to be with them.
Yes.
They need mama needs बच्चा.
Yes.
So then you said, अब तो मैं delegate करना सीखना ही पड़ेगा. So मेरे बच्चों ने मेरे को ही सिखाया है.
Take a 2-week vacation during your busiest season.
Never. That will never happen.
No? Break it.
Definitely break it.
Experiment with a completely new ingredient in your bread.
Bake it.
Bake it. Up for the challenge.
Always.
Yeah,
that's what we thrive for. So many times our R&D departments just makes products because
anything under experiment these days which you're launching
lots. We don't know whether we're launching soon or not, but there's lots of experimentation that happens. Some of them get translated, some of them we just do to keep.
You discard also. It's like a laboratory experiment.
Yeah. I mean, our R&D team works in product development half the times to sharpen their brain.
Yeah.
To keep the skills alive.
Yeah.
And some of these experiments convert into a product. Some of the products that we wanted to make, we never ended up making because experiment ही कभी successful नहीं हुआ. But our R&D team तो has a good time doing this.
Yeah.
It's the best job in the company. Everybody's like, तुमने कुछ बनाया आज हमें खिला दो.
So what is your definition of unstoppable woman?
I feel every individual needs to set a target for themselves and find a way to achieve it. A lot of people tell me, and this is when I say, that's what I'm saying, person, not a woman. I think we have to become a bit gender neutral. That's how I was raised. And we women also need to think कि if we want equality, we should also think ना हम same हैं. So I feel set a target for yourself, find a way to achieve it no matter what. Once you've achieved it, set one more target, then one more target. And this target doesn't have to be a business target. This could be a very personal target.
Okay.
And that is what really makes us unstoppable, because every time we realize, oh, I could conquer this fear, I could conquer this challenge, I could conquer this milestone. Let's not be happy with it.